All right, turning now to the conflict in the Middle East, where the fighting appears to be escalating and expanding. These attacks came after President Trump vowed to hit Iran very hard in response to Tehran targeting a Jordanian base that hosts U.S. troops. And Egypt has said that it also came under attack, blaming an explosion at one of its ports yesterday on a drone strike. But it's currently unknown where that particular drone came from. So for more on this, we're joined by CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata, who's joining us from Amman, Jordan. Charlie, what can you tell us about these latest rounds of attacks, and what is Egypt saying?
Yeah, well, Vlad, first of all, I don't know that you can describe what we saw overnight as very hard, but it's certainly a resumption of hostilities after a few days of breaks. And U.S. Central Command, we contacted them today. They said they were going after command control centers, places where they're storing drones and missiles. So really what I might describe as routine airstrikes. But they said that was in retaliation for a missile strike here in Jordan. There were 5 missiles, according to the Jordanian military sources that we contacted. Those were intercepted. But that was a surprise attack. And when you say, well, how much of a surprise can it be if these two sides are fighting? It came after that 4-day lull. So it came out of nowhere that the Iranians tried to attack once again that base, that same base where U.S. troops were killed last week. I think it was about 10 days ago. Now, when you talk about Egypt, that has expanded the conflict, too, because Egypt has reported that 2 naval vessels there, commercial vessels, were hit by a drone. The assumption, of course, is it was an Iranian drone, and one of those is an American-flagged gas vessel. Tanker. So that has expanded it, too. And so we have multiple countries that are being drawn into this conflict, ostensibly between the United States and Iran.
And so to that point, Charlie, we've seen the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. They took part in these joint strikes for 2 weeks on Iranian proxies in Iraq. You mentioned Egypt. You mentioned Saudi. What is the risk now of even more countries in the region being drawn into it?
Yeah, you know, Kelly, it's already happened, hasn't it? Right. So, but this is the first time that we've had the United States and Saudi Arabia in a joint military operation, a planned airstrikes, not against Iran, but Iranian-backed proxies inside Iraq, which has obviously caused problems inside Iraq. They're saying this is a sovereign country. You're hitting targets inside Iraq. This isn't Iran. And this is a very established group, the PMU. This is a well-funded, well-organized group. And the Saudis blame the PMU for striking their oil facilities with drones. And, of course, this is with the backing of Iran. So now we're here in Jordan. Why? Because U.S. troops have been attacked here and killed here. Jordan is part of this fight. They don't really like to talk about it much, but there are U.S. Troops who are at air bases here. Iran is going after them. The United States is going after Iranian proxies in Iraq. Now the Saudis have entered this fight. Jordan is already part of it, not their military, but using the bases here. And you can see how that is expanding, because now when you look at it, you've got Kuwait, you got Bahrain, you got Jordan, you got Saudi Arabia, now Egypt, Iran, and Iraq. So this has expanded, whether the United States wants to look at it that way or not.
All right, Charlie D'Agata. Oh, and Charlie, one thing that you pointed out on CBS Mornings that I don't think you mentioned it, is how Americans are feeling about this war versus all the other wars that we fought. What did the polling reveal?
Yeah, so this is an Associated Press poll that just came out this morning, and it is deeply unpopular. A majority of Americans in that poll say that this isn't going as well as the United States would have liked. They disapprove of this war. And the staggering thing, for us anyways, this is proving to be more unpopular than the Vietnam War.
Really remarkable.
Wow.
Charlie, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi joins us now. So, Olivia, we talked about the fact that the U.S. and Iran, we're escalating here, we're trading strikes, but Pakistan says that talks are ongoing between these two countries. What do we actually know here?
Yeah, that's right. Foreign ministers in Pakistan have said that the talks are ongoing, and they're doing their utmost ability to keep them on track. But as Charlie just laid out, this war is really spiraling out of control. And even if Pakistan is trying to keep these talks on track, we're still seeing U.S. strikes inside of Iran, and you're seeing Iran retaliate. So there are no direct talks that are happening between either side. Also, at one point, Qatar was involved in these negotiations and trying to host the Iranians to try to get them to agree, not again to the ceasefire, but just reopening the Strait of Hormuz. That still has not happened either. So we're at this juncture where no one is really able to get back to the table and have a conversation, and this threatens to really spiral out of control because of that.
Olivia, let me ask you about something that the White House is doubling down on, the claims of Chinese election interference. They released a new fact sheet. What are the facts, as they claim?
Well, there's really not anything new in this fact sheet that we have learned about. This is really a follow-up to that primetime address that the president gave 2 weeks ago. If you'll remember, in that address, the president had accused China of interfering in U.S. elections. He said that China had allegedly tried to collect millions of public and non-public voter information in voter registration files. We had obtained this fact sheet from various U.S. intelligence community sources, and they don't specify what private information was obtained or which states were impacted in this. An administration official also told reporters that the intelligence community believes China purchased, stole, and hacked these files, but it really can't confirm what percentage was taken from those methods. So there's still not a lot of facts that we have learned from this fact sheet. Vlad, I also want to note that in 2021, U.S. intelligence agencies assessed that China and other countries did not try to interfere in the technical aspects of the 2020 election, including the voter registration process.
All right, Olivia, appreciate it.